Hello, scrapping friends. This is Lisa Paget with a Scrap Along with Me video. Today we're going to use a sketch designed to use up your scraps. So first thing you're going to want to do is go through your papers and find things that complement. So I've gone with some pinks, some canary yellow, meadow green, and then mossy green. These are all been around for a while. And we're going to use this sketch released by Creative Memories in honor of Earth Day. And again, it is designed to use your scraps. The sketch itself uses a 1-inch square. But when I went through my stash, I had a lot of 1.5-inch squares. So I chose to do 1.5. I want to make the most use out of those scraps. So I have cut 28 squares. 1.5 by 1.5, and that's easily accomplished with your personal trimmer. So let's get started. Now, the first thing I'm going to suggest is that you double check your 12 by 12 paper. When I did that, I found that it was just a hair off and then maybe a 30 seconds off on one side, on two sides. So do that, especially since we're laying out all these squares. It'll help minimize the frustration that you have when things might not quite line up. So please take a minute to do that. Then what I want you to do is use your centering ruler. And we're going to add a line with a pencil just inside 1.5. And the reason we're doing that is because instead of putting repositionable on each one of these, that's going to take extra time. We're going to draw that line and then put repositionable right on the base page, just like that. Now, of course, you can certainly do 2 long strips if you like. And then we're going to snug up each square to the other where we have the repositionable. Okay. So this is going to go a lot faster than trying to do them individually. Oops, there's 2 there. Again, it's pulled out a lot of pinks, and this is a color I don't typically use a lot of, but this is going to work just great for my strawberry photos. I've been doing a lot of strawberry picking here in Virginia. We have been picking strawberries since March 28th, would you believe? So I'm going to rotate because I've now finished my 7 strips of color. I'm going to come back here. Let's get this centered here. And do my line. Again, just as a guide for my adhesive. The nice thing about using the repositionable is it lets you put the paper down, but also move it should you need to. Now my squares are just, again, these were scraps, so they're not exactly, they might be a hair off here and there, but we're going to do the best we can to make them work. And you see how quickly we're almost done with this second side. Oops, I got 2 squares again. And we're going to rotate. All right, I'm going to add my pencil line, again, just inside the 1.5. If the pencil line shows, you can always use an eraser to remove it, but the sketch actually calls for a 1/4-inch frame on the inside, just to help frame everything up and take care of any of those missing, straighten up those edges for you. Okay. This one. Now, if any of these squares extend off the side, we'll just give them a little haircut at the end. And there we are. And we finished the third side. We're coming around to the fourth side. Again, we're going to add our pencil line just as a guide. Okay, and some repositionable. Okay. Let's move this over. That square just a little bit smaller. Let's rotate it, see if that'll help. There we go. Okay, look at that. All right, so let's give it a good press. All right, now we have, I chose to do 3/8 just because it's a little easier for me to do the 3/8. And I wanted a little bit more brightness with the white. So I'm going to add these here. And you ask, why am I doing that? Well, the sketch actually calls for a 1/4 of an inch strip here and here, but I'm going to just frame it. They actually used a sticker strip, but I'm going to frame it all the way around. I'm going to use my microtip scissors to just trim everything up. And if it's a little bit off, it's okay, because I'm going to put another strip right there. And we're going to go all the way around. Again, using repositionable. The nice thing, it's little glue dots that just rub away. And I have my scissors down here. There we go. Let's rotate. Give a little trim down here. Oh, I'm really liking how this is coming together. Again, just using scraps. And we have one last strip to add. And my base page is done. And we can decorate with a little bit of embellishments. Oops, I got this corner picking up. Give it another little press. Okay. There we go. Now I'm actually going to flip these two pieces apart. Again, nice thing about repositionable. Whoops. There we go. All right. Okay, well, that looks really pretty. I'm thrilled with that. Now, what I would like to do is, I've actually completed a second page. Okay. And I cut a 4x6 mat for a 1.5 by 3.5 photo. I have a 3.5 inch mat for a 3x3, and then I've added a little journal box. I had some red line paper in my stash. It's actually the back of this polka dot paper. And then I created a little cluster of flowers using the spring leaf. This is the negative punch from the spring leaf, and the Mandeville punch is a double punch. I've actually added the a brown dot pan to add a little interest. So I created the flower. Okay, so let's show you how I did that. So here is the punch. It's 2 layers. And I've punched some extras so that I had the yellow as well as that so that I can mix them. Put one inside the other. But to create the center, I just use the fat tip and press straight down. And press straight down. And then I use the fine tip end to just add a couple little dashes, again, just to add some interest. And then these are going to be popped up on foam squares. And then I'm going to put them like that. So let's get my corner. So I like to do 2-page spreads. So this will be, I have a cluster here at the bottom. So I'm going to create a cluster up here. So I have some meadow cardstock that I've punched my spring leaves in. Okay. And I like to use odd numbers. It's just a nice, pleasing effect. And I'm going to add some of the yellow. And again, the nice thing about the repositionable, again, is that the little glue dots just are rolled and wiped away. And then I add this here with some dimension, and here with some dimension. And then I need one more flower. I think I'm going to add a yellow. Oops, where'd my foam squares go? Oh, right here. There we go. And I have some of these. This is the negative punch, negative from the spring leaf. So those are going to be great for adding a little bit of interest. Fill in a spot right there. And I think I can put one more there. Again, I like to work in 3s. Creates a visual triangle. All right, and because this will be the companion page, I'm going to add, might need to trim those down a little bit. But you get the idea. So there we go. So all that's left now is to add my photos, and I have 2 pages completed. So thank you for joining me. I hope you'll join me again. Please share any comments or any layouts that you've created with this sketch from Creative Memories using your scraps. Thank you so much. Happy scrapping.